Hi, beautiful souls. I'm so proud of you to taking this action and wants to join me to this webinar to get more understanding of your trauma and your healing journey towards to be your future healed self. So I'm so proud of you, and you can acknowledge yourself for being here too, to want to take this huge action and step towards your future healed self. I want you to know that I have been through a lot of trauma myself. So I'm quite proud of myself too to be here. I am here today. So I just want to tell you a little bit backgrounds of myself so you understand where I come from. It's not for you to feel like, oh my God, she have experienced a lot and I have not, and it's nothing like that. And it's absolutely not for gaining any sympathy or you feel somehow sorry or anything, because I'm so proud of me. I know I have experienced a lot of trauma, but I have built it step by step by my mistakes, my failures, and last 12 years, I have learned so much by being active and doing a lot of learning and doing my own things. And I have been through so much different stuff. You name it, I have been there. I have done trauma recovery thing. I have done gone to therapy. I have done NLP to help me through this, light therapy, healer. I have talked to different doctors. I have been through, you name it, I have done it to learn to heal my traumas. So last 12 years, I have learned from those mistakes, failures, and wins to be here I am today. I can start with that. My traumas is like, I have been through trauma since I was 1 year old, even though I don't remember the thing I experienced 1 year when I was 1. But I can show you that I got my first scar when I was 1 year old, and it's still on me today. I got a foot there, so I bleeded. My mom and dad took me to hospital, and they had to fix it. So I still have it. And when I was 4 years old, I burned myself with the hot water from waist and down. I got like 2nd-degree burning marks, so many places. So my aunt, she was a nurse. She worked as a military nurse. So she took the things that she helped the military guys to put me back together. And they didn't want to have me in a hospital that time. We lived in Iran, and my father was against the regime, so they didn't allow me to go to any. They didn't want me to any hospitals. They didn't even want to see me and have me there. So I was like, my father was banned and his family was banned. And luckily, I got much better. I could be myself again, be the little child again, but it was horrible. I couldn't sit or sleep or anything. I still remember how it hurted so much when my aunt came and she had to wash me my both foot and everything there with this thing, and she tied the needle. So she took the she handled so much she handled me with so much care that you cannot almost see any scars left on my body. So I'm grateful for that. And short after, when everything was fine and I could be just kid again, my father is as I said, was banned in Iran because of his belief. So the one day we just woke up middle of the night, and my mom and dad took all of us, me and my three sisters, with them, and our journey as a refugee started that night. So we only had a bag with us back then with cash and our passports. So we traveled with the bus through mountains and had it was a long way. We escaped to Turkey and was there for 1 year almost. And mom and dad tried to pay people so they could take us to other countries, and they took the money and they disappeared. So after 1 year, our money got less and less. We didn't have those money. So we traveled to Syria by train. All this time we lived by ourselves. We didn't live in any refugee camp or anything. We had our own apartments. Even though it was a one room in Syria, my mom and dad always made sure that we had a roof above our head. So after 1 year, we had to fly away, get away from Turkey. First of all, when it was down and the Iranian regime was after my father, so we couldn't stay one place for a long time. So we had to move like thousands of times, sometimes 3 times during one day. So it was those 5-6 years we was a refugee. I just went to school 1.5 years, if I remember it right. And it was hard, you know. I loved school. I was like this kid that started to learn to write by myself when I was just a little toddler. And I started to talk when I was 1 year old. So I loved school, and I loved to learn new stuff. I was like a sponge. So for me, it was hard to not go to school, don't have any toys, don't have any bicycle, and I had to always be careful who we talk with, who we are with, and move those 1,000 times and never get like close friends for real, because we moved always. But after 4 years in Syria, I loved Syria. It was so lovely people there. Really didn't want to move from Syria. But then we got help with the UN, and got help from UN to come to Norway as a refugees. So we didn't know nothing back then about Norway back in 1990. So for us, I thought Norway was like a capital in Sweden. We didn't know much about Norway, like no one did at that moment in time. I don't think the map we had even Norway on it. I thought it was like Sweden and it was there. So Norway was not even on the map. But anyway, and I thought for myself, how is Norway? Is it like white bears that you see around and it is snowy? I didn't know what to expect. And we come to Norway in May. It was very cold. I had a little tiny skirt on me, and we had this, I think we flight all day. I don't know, because I remember I was looking so forward to flying, and in the end I just wanted to go. I didn't want to fly no more. I was like, I'm done for the rest of my life of flying. It felt like I was so little. I was just 10 and 11. I was so little back there. So for me, it felt like forever. So when we come to Norway, it was hard, it was cold, and people was different from people in Syria. Syrian people are like very gentle, and they want to invited you to their home, and they was giving you food, and they really appreciate you like a guest and one of them. But in Norway, people was different. They were cold people that very like distance, and didn't even want to say hi when they saw you. And we were one of those first brown people among like a lot of white people. So it was very hard. It was so hard. I got bullied for my skin. People yell, as I used to yell at me that go wash yourself with the blender. It's a washing thing brand in Norway, so the clothes get whiter. So they throw trash on me. They start to fight me, and I had a hard time. 3 years of my life of elementary school, in 3-4 years, it was like a living hell. I didn't want to live. I remember I was awake during the nights and begged and prayed that someone come. I not any someone. I prayed Michael Jackson to come and just escort me to my classroom so they could just leave me alone. So, but it never happened. And I understood when I got older, I didn't need anyone to save me back then. I just need to love myself more and be there for myself and be the adult I needed back then when I was a little. So, and during this time, when we was refugees, and in the beginning when I got bullied, it was such a vulnerable time, very vulnerable time for my mother and father to look after us and be there for us 100%. I totally understand them now. Such a stressful thing, and have 4 girls to take care of. So I totally understand. I don't blame them anything. I have just love and understanding for them. Anyway, I got sexually assaulted by different people during that time. From I was around 8-9 years old till I was 15 or 16. It was very hard. It was very hard. It was I didn't know who I could talk this with. I didn't know who I could share my heart with. So it was very difficult and very challenging to be me in those times. So I decided one day I was tired of this uncle to come home to us, and this was the last guy, was my uncle from my mom's side, to come to us and just assault me sexually. So I packed my bags and run away. I ran away from home when I was 16, 17 years old, and I met a guy who was much older than me. He was like 30 something, and he was such a controlling guy. And back then I didn't understood this was not healthy for me at all. I was not allowed to meet any friends or family members, and he just wanted like a wife thing for him, cook dinner for him while he go do his thing. But I was free somehow, free from the sexual assaultment, and free from the thing. I felt like not being able to talk to anyone about that. But I wasn't free. I was just going from somewhere to another shithole, to say it as it is. So when I was 18, I had this huge plan in my head that when I'm 18, I'm gonna make a party and do a lot of stuff. And what he wanted was like, we're gonna watch a movie at home and play Twister. And it was like an eye-opening for me, like, what? Why will I? First of all, he threw me at the walls when we fight, when he thinks that I do something that is not nice in his eyes, like meeting friends or family members. And secondly, it's my 18th birthday, and he wants to watch movie at home and play Twister, like I'm 50 years old or something. I thought back then. So I packed my bag and I told him that I don't want to be with you. And he took it quite nice. He cried a lot. He cried and he tried to beg me come back, and I didn't go. I got myself a new apartment for myself, and I worked the same place that I worked, and I did whatever. I was such a party girl. I started to become more party girl, that I did a lot of drugs in that time, and had a lot of big social life with the friends. I saw them as friends, but they were never my friends. I found it after time that when I needed them, nobody was there. But anyway, I started a new life. I was such a happy girl, and had so much energy in me. I wanted to dance all night long and work during the day. I don't know how was I capable to even survive in that time when I almost never slept. But whatever. And something changed during that time. When I was 19, I got raped by my boss. I started a new job in, it was a brand clothing for women. And one evening, my boss called me and said, come in at the hotel. We're gonna have a meeting about this a new collection of something. And I don't know why I got in that hotel room with him after the meeting, but I did. And I got raped, and that was like eye-opening for me. I cannot do the drugs. I cannot be that party girl and just say yes to people and let myself be raped over and over again. So it was like, in that period, I stopped working at his place. I charged him for police. I was at police all night that day. I didn't have any work, so I couldn't stay where I stayed. So I had no place to stay. I was so stubborn. I didn't want to call my family and ask for help. For some short time, I didn't have any place to live. So I was on the streets. And in the end, I got the hospice place to live. It was a room with drug dealers and hookers. So I had like one bread and ketchup. The one bread I got was, I got one bread. Everyone got one bread during Monday in a week from a hospice, so they could have, and it was from charity, from a bakery in nearby. So I had this one bread and ketchup in my fridge, and I had that for a whole week, and I ate that. I didn't want to call home and say, please help me in the beginning. But then I called my mom and I told her how I have it and how it is, and they came into my life, and I decided to get out of there and go to work and get myself a better place to live. So I got the apartment for myself again, and I got job. So back in the business. So I started all over again from scratch again. And I had my mom and dad beside me. They helped me a lot by giving me TV and furniture. And so but still I started it, and I had the job, and I could work, and I was so happy again. And those few friends I had left, they are still with me. I'm so grateful for them. So it means to me a lot to have this connection with someone that have seen you in the rock bottom and see where you are today. So after some time, I met my first husband. I was 19 back then, and I just had this thing. I want to show my mom and dad that I'm not a disaster. I'm going to show them that I can make right choices too. So I met this guy, simple guy, and I thought for myself, okay, this guy is simple and he have a job. I can make it with him. He didn't talk much, but he was a good listener. He listened a lot, and I understand why. He listened and he didn't talk, but it took me 12 years. I got 3 children with this guy, 3 beautiful children, 2 girls and 1 boy. Boys in the middle. And I spent 12 years of my life with this guy. This guy, I thought, when I left this guy, I thought I left one alcoholic guy who was not nice, just put it in a nice way, when he drank. It was, I don't know what was the worst, when he had alcohol in it or when he didn't. He started fights after a while. When he hadn't had some alcohol, he always started fight, and it was always my fault why he started drinking. All holidays got destroyed. All vacation got destroyed. All the Mom's Day, everything. He could be nasty with me in Mother's Day and don't tell me like Happy Mother's Day, but then he typed on Facebook in Happy Mother's Day, my love, or something. My dear, he didn't call me my love, my dear. So, but I didn't show anyone that he was that horrible man who was violent and didn't take care of me emotionally or spiritually or anything. That he drank so much that he even got put in jail, different occasions. I didn't tell anyone. I wanted to protect myself and my children. I protected my children so badly that then even today, they are big children, over 18. They don't know about their past and how their father was during that time. And it's good for them, but it's bad for me. But when I was ready to leave him, I have talked about it to leave him for a long time. And when I was really ready for leave him, he had this thing. He said to me, if you ever leave me, I'm going to take away a car, a house, and the children, and kill you, or kill the children and you in the end. It was his thing, he said. So I had this, I was scared to death, but I still did it. I did it. Before I left him, it was nothing left of me. I had this huge pain all over my body. I couldn't walk, I couldn't play with my children, I couldn't do anything. And every time I couldn't even wake up to go some because of the pain, he had this thing that, no, he's gonna go to work and I cannot be sick no more because he have to go to work. Especially when I had it the worst, he was decided go to work. So I'm happy he had this work that he had. So he was away a lot of time. He was like away half of those 12 years at the work. And I'm so happy for that and grateful for that, because it was much easier to be. Somehow my pain got less and less. Even with 3 children in our home, my pain got less and less when he wasn't home. And it talks for itself. So when I finally left him, I didn't just leave because he was such a aggressive guy. So when I was to leave him, he had these breakdowns of crying, of yelling, being like a monster. He's like a huge guy, and very huge, like this, and I'm a tiny little woman in every way. So he tried to scare me, and so all the thing, I just had the thing, I have to run away. I have to get out of this place. So I took my children and we flew to a women's shelter back in 2011. So, and I thought for myself, this is it, now I'm free and everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be good. So when I was at this women's shelter that is actually top secret, nobody knows our address, even you have to talk to them in the phone, and they have to make an appointment with you and tell you not in tell you where the address is, and you are not allowed to tell it to anyone, not even police have this, can tell anyone where you are. But somehow my first husband found out where this is. So he found out where I am. So, but this was, but I didn't know by then, he knew where I was. So we arranged that he's gonna have these children to have them for a weekend. And I was happy that after like 1 month, he's gonna have them to have some meeting with the children, and they're gonna be there for a weekend. What happened during this weekend that he took the children for first time and didn't want to deliver them back. So I had to start the court, like emergency court. And it was the first time he kidnapped my children and didn't want to make me see them. I was devastated. I was so low. I thought my whole life is over. I was with these children since 2000, when my eldest got born in 2000. So this was in 2011. Every single day I was with my children. In 11 years, I felt like my whole life was over. But that was the first time he kidnapped my children. And last time he kidnapped my children was back in 2015. He took them one by one. He blocked their numbers. He blocked me, and he had this stupid reason that called to police every time I was at his home to deliver some gifts. He called the police and told them rubbish like, I don't have any right to see my children, and it's born around, I don't know if you know what it is, but it's child stuff like this, have arranged that I just can see them through them. So one time the police even called this born around thing to hear what is this about, and they said, no, there is no such a thing here. And I have all this thing on the police log I got, So I have all this thing written from the police. But he didn't care. He continued to lie about me and trash my name everywhere he went. To their school, he went and said, I was never there for my children. I have beaten them up. I have been the worst mother ever. I have taken my boy and thrown him out the stairs. The lie he tells you makes me look like a monster. I should be in jail. And during that time, I got so sad and depressed, and I didn't really know what to do. I was so emotionally engaged in this and did all the things, everything that I could do wrong, I did wrong, really. But anyway, so, but luckily I met this sweet guy, and I just wanted him to be the one for me. He was a lovely, kind guy. He was a twisted, he must have been twisted, and he was a twisted, funny guy. He made me laugh every day. Every day I almost pee on myself of laughing of him. He was such a joyful soul. But sadly, he had his thing too, and he wasn't so happy that it seems like he took his life in 2015. And 2013, I got me and him, got the little girl. So we was like a tiny happy family that gonna figure out how to make things happen. But sadly, back in 2015, we had the fight, and he had this thing that one woman was not enough. He had a mistress, and I didn't want to be involved in this thing, and I threatened him by leaving him, and he decided to kill himself in the end. So he killed himself with a shotgun in front of me and our little girl that wasn't even 2 years back then. I thought, now is my life over. I didn't know how to carry this burden by someone it was my first love. To see my first love just kill himself, and I felt this hopeless. I couldn't even sleep. I couldn't eat. I wasn't me. I was gone. I looked myself in the mirror and I was scared what am I looking. When I walked towards a tree, like 50, 100 meters before I was even near the tree, all the birds flew away. I was so unbalanced in every way. So I have worked like day and night to come back. This was 7 years ago, by the way. So in that time, my first husband, he found something new to hold to. So he called the police, and he called places and said that I was totally crazy now, and the children are not allowed to see me. So he told them lies, so I couldn't go near my children. The police told him, if you're so worried, then go to the doctor or something. So they didn't buy his garbage anymore, but still. And the children, they had this thing, if you loved us, why you don't want to see us? I felt like they didn't even know what was the case. So I arranged a new court, and I didn't want to see my children alone. I wanted to have someone as a witness to be there. So because I was so tired of all the things that came with these things. And after 1 year, my girl suddenly decided she didn't want to see me at all. So she stopped seeing me, and I got these diffuse messages, like after some time again, like she was delusional of something, that told me that I didn't want to see her. I have never put any effort to see them, and how could I be happy without them? And I was not any good mom because I have never tried to see them. It broke my heart in every pieces because it wasn't true. But every time I tried to see them, I felt like I got 10 step back in the process. I've done so many wrongs there. I should have just let them go, but this is what it is. I did my best from where I was there to see my children. And what is come with Glenn, I have used these 7 years to come back to this life. After Glenn shot himself, this first thing I said when Glenn shot himself, I screamed, why you? Why not my first husband? I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but you hear it from traumatized people, the truth. So I have forgiven my first husband, just to say it as it is. I don't want him back in my life. And I know he doesn't have it good with himself at all, but I really don't care no more. I have forgiven him because he doesn't know better. He is what he is. He is what he is. And I only thing I need to do is protect myself and be the woman I needed back then. Be that woman today to stand in my truth and stand with my own way of living. I have nothing to prove to him or anyone else that I am a good mom. But this is my story, and during the courts, this last court, it was so unfair. It was so unfair, but still, I was so happy for that last court because his lawyers saw what kind of man he is. Everyone was involved. They saw what kind of man he is, and he's a head behind all these things. And they saw that he had kidnapped my children and he used them as a weapon to not let them see me. But he in the court just told everyone that it wasn't his idea, it was his new wife idea, and he put all the blame on her. But everyone knew in that room that this was his game. So for me, it was a game anyway. Even though my children didn't want to see me, it was a game. It was a personal game for me. So, but no, it's a lot of this. But in those last 7 years, I have understood peace of mind is everything. Not what he did or what happened or what it is, how I feel, how am I doing, and how can I make it right for myself, and how can I make it better tomorrow. I have learned from my failures, from my mistakes, where I have been, what I have done wrong, and what I could do less and more. So it's have been a lot of up and downs, and my last trauma really shook me. It was like dying and come back again. But I feel like my last trauma, you know, when it's fireworks and the last firework is like big bada boom, the hugest one. I feel like when my Glenn shot himself, it was like that, my last trauma. It was like the big bada boom, and everything just calmed after that. So this last 12 years, like as I said, I have tried so many different things. In between that, I have studied, and I have been mom for my little girl, and full-time mom last 7.5, soon to be 8 years. I have been full-time mom for her, and I have learned so much. And the only thing that has been in my head and heart, that is, I want to help women and children to heal, and children be our future, heal children. My biggest dream is to build women's shelter around the world, so these women and children have a safe place to be. I'm gonna get so emotional. And the women have this feeling of they can make it too, as I have it. And they get some start help to maybe start a business somehow, so that not just that they get how to heal, but they can stand on their foot when they go back to their life. And I want these children, I want these moms to heal so they don't project their trauma on their children. And I want those children to get the help they need to understand that life is so much more, so they can be future healed children, that they again can have healed children when they have a child. So it can be like a red content of healing, so future healing. So this is my biggest dream now, to build women's shelter around the world for the children and the moms, so they can be future children. So I feel that even though I have been through hell, if I can be the one who can help women and children to heal, then it was like not I don't know how to put it, but then it's not that it's okay, but it was worth it. You know, if I can be help for others to heal too, after what I have learned, after what I have been through, then it's worth it. And it wasn't waste. It wasn't a waste. It wasn't. So this is my biggest dream, to make world a better place for children and their mothers. So yeah, I need to read. So I have this course. I'm putting bonus on it now, actually. So maybe it's gonna be like bonus in there forever. But anyway, I have built this course, and I want this course to be all the things you need, as I wished I had something like this 12 years ago. Where to start, what to start with, instead of all the back and forth and back. But if I had that back then maybe my dream of this women's shelter will never have happened. But this course is built simply for everyone to understand, and I know how trauma affect your brain, that you get forgetful. So no worries, I got you there. It's not the long forever videos and so you lost the concentration. No, not at all. Don't worry about that at all. So it's the short videos every time. So you had this, so you don't need to be like zoom out and don't remember what you have seen. And you can always go back and see again, because it's short videos. And it's built like step by step, the way I wish that I had learned earlier, so I could be where I am here today. But I'm happy this happened the way it happened. Anyway, I'm not happy, kind of, but I am at peace. I'm at peace with that now I'm here. And I have come to peace that it's a blessing in every delay. So I think that the reason it took the time that it took, that it was meant for you to be here to see this today, so it could reach you, to help you get further in your healing journey and to be future healed self. So I believe it did so. It took its time. it took just for you to have this and watch this now, to see this, and you to get the help you need to be future healed self. So this course is made for you step by step. It's let me just it's about mindset. I'm sorry, little technical issues. It's about the mindset. First of all, I believe mindset is the biggest key. It's like without the mindset, you will not get it. If you have this mindset that I will never heal, healing is so hard, I have been through so much and I cannot heal, then this course is not for you. Just to say that this course is not for you, not at all. This course is for you that even though I have been through what I have been through, but still I can heal. I want to heal. I'm decided to heal. So it's about mindset, it's chakra balancing and inner child healing, and it's about replacing a traumatic event, it's renewing your energy field, and it's connecting with the peace. And it had a bonus material. Right now, I just have I'm sorry. Right now, I just have this muscle tensation release, but I believe it's going to come more and more after some while. So this was the webinar. If you feel like you are not alone, just so that you know, during this healing journey, I will be there 24/7 during my email. You can contact me on my email. And you can book one-to-one session with me if you need some healing. Just please let me know, book one-to-one session, or it will be live meetings and Zoom meetings and webinars. So you are not alone. I will not just sell you this course and say, here you go with all your questions and all the things you wonder. No, it will not be like this. It would be, I will be here with you all the way. So make sure that you too become the healed future version of yourself. And you too get the help you need so you can be the woman you want to be. This course has no gender or age limit, actually. So if you're a guy and want to see this too, you are welcome to. But since I want to help women and have this woman shelter and help mothers, so I have put this gender and age limit. But if you're a guy, you're welcome to watch this too and do the course too. I'm not gonna deny you that. Please let me know, so I would be humbled to know that too, that the guy wants to do this course too. So thank you for watching this long webinar, and I'm so proud of you to watch all of this. So take action and get yourself the course, and let us heal together so we can build this future healed children, so they can stand in their truth and they can be happy for you as a mom or dad. Take that action to heal your part, so they don't need to go your footsteps and be that wounded child that you were, and you give them to your children and they give it to their children. Instead of building up generation of trauma, we build generation of healing. and we heal not just us, we heal the whole world together, and we heal and become a better world and better place to be for all of us, because we took responsibility for our healing journey to become this healed future version of us and our children. So let us together break those generational trauma and heal ourselves and give this gift to our children to heal too. So again, if you need me, if it's anything, don't hesitate to contact me. I will be there for you as fast as I can. If you need healing or coaching or just anything, anyone to talk to and sort out your emotions and your thoughts or anything, just let me know. Book one-to-one session. I will eventually have group coaching again, and I want to have events again, like in the child healing events, but it's going to be more after some, but I don't want to talk about it right now. Actually, it was quite, it came out of my mouth. But anyway, just keep yourself up to date with whatever is coming next. And, but first of all, just make sure you decide to heal. If you don't want to do my course, but anyway, it's okay too, as long as you decide to heal your wounds, so you can be future healed self, so we can together have this future healed children of us and make what better place together. It's like together we're doing it, not just one by one, but be together. We stand and take responsibility to make this world a better place for our children and their children, our children. So I'm proud of you. If you have not seen the link and got the course, do it now. Link is you see the link down. So click on the link and get your course, and I see you inside. Okay, love you guys. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.